This is just another update right now. I got the house cleaned up as usual. Now that I've been told I can walk on my foot a little bit, um, so I don't have to sit down while I'm waiting for my toe to heal. Apparently, I'm allowed to walk around a little bit. So I got the house cleaned up, and if I'm honest, I'm just having a very, very frustrating day right now. For 4 whole days, um, my baby sister, she's just very snitty. I mean, she got on to me about not throwing 2 pieces of trash away that she had handed to me. And when she finally, they were just little 2 pieces of cardboard, so I really wasn't worried so much. It was tiny little tags that you take off of a decoration. And she got upset with me that I kind of just let them fade to the ground because I wasn't sure why she handed them to me. Like, okay. And she picked them back up, and she got very snooty with me and just walks to our trash cans next to the front porch, and she goes, "There's a trash can over here, 2 of them." And I'm just like sick of the attitude. I I keep this house clean, and for 4 whole days I was trying to stay off my foot, and she let the house go to hell, and yet she has the nerve to look at me and tell me that there's 2 trash cans over there, and act like I'm lazy for her handing me pieces of trash that she could have thrown away herself to begin with. Instead of, she handed them to me and expect me to do it for her. When this was a moment where I got very, very sarcastic. And after her sitting there letting the house go to hell and then getting that rude with me, I looked at her and said, "Oh wow, so you can throw away trash all by yourself." And she got very snitty with me. She mumbled something under her breath, and I was really sick of her attitude, so I just looked at her and said, "Oh, so I wonder who's going to be doing the kitchen tomorrow and cleaning up the house. Oh, wait, that's right. That's going to be me. I clean up things." So I was sick of her attitude at that moment. Um, and I did not appreciate her sitting there acting like I'm lazy when, she let the house go to hell, and she expected me to throw away 2 pieces of trash for her rather than, just her doing it herself. And then, God forbid, I offend her by not doing so, because then she'll actually have to do it herself. And I was about to go learn how to drive some more from my dad. And I have to honestly be very annoying and insist that I get taught how to drive because, I'm not a priority. No one's going to teach me unless I'm pushy about it. And it's been a few days or more, actually, since, yeah, wow, actually, it's been a while since I've learned how to drive a little bit. And I've only got to drive twice. So I was trying to be insistent that, I learned to drive some more. And my dad, every time he's taken me to drive, including this time, which apparently failed because the battery had died, so I wasn't able to go driving this time. But his attitude did not change the moment we got in the car. It's like he's purposely miscommunicating and trying to confuse things just to be an asshole, just to frustrate me. Because he doesn't want to teach me how to drive. He feels I am being a complete inconvenience to him by needing someone to teach me how to drive. So he's just being an asshole on purpose, as if to get back at me for being an inconvenience to him, interrupting his time on the computer. And yeah, so, today's just been a not so easy day. It's really hard. I honestly feel like crying, but I'm trying to suck it up right now and not do so. Yeah, so I'd rather not get into too much the things he does while we're in that car, or what he says, but it's like he's deliberately trying to miscommunicate. Like, if I ask a question on something, I mean, these are yes or no questions. I mean, I know I'm learning to drive and learn to get familiar with that vehicle, but I'm not completely ignorant and stupid of a vehicle. I know which area is the brake, I know which one's the gas. Um, I get the general idea. I know how to put it into park, reverse, neutral, and all those little areas right there. I know that part. So I'm not completely ignorant. So the fact that, so I can communicate while trying to understand get familiar with the vehicle more. Um, and it's like he purposely is trying to miscommunicate by, if I ask simple yes or no questions, like, do I check my blind spot on this turn? Then it's just, he rabbit trails and he completely goes in a different direction than the blind spot. And I'm like, I don't understand where he's going with this. He's not just saying yes or no, or even explaining why I should check or why I shouldn't check right now. I mean, he literally goes in a completely different direction with this, and I'm like, well, what the hell is this? And it gets very frustrating because I'm trying to learn, I'm trying to better my life, I'm trying to get independent and do better for myself, and it's like my family is purposely trying to keep that from happening. Um, it's like my dad does it just to be an asshole because he feels I'm being an inconvenience by needing to learn how to drive. Um, and my mom, I'm not really sure her reasons. I don't think it's to, when she's keeping me from advancing or growing more, I don't feel like she's doing it to get back at me for some reason. It's like there's this fear of letting me go, but all the same, she can't seem to let go of her ego at the same time. So she's not very always nice to me, and she tries to manipulate things so she can scream at me. Um, which I've managed to keep happening for at least around this month. I've been able to do that. So far, she hasn't tried to lash out at me so much. After she met my boyfriend, she's kind of calmed down a bit. But I know how she can flip on a switch, and I know how she did it before. So I really um don't trust her so much anymore after that. After that experience, I know what she's capable of, so I don't really trust the fact that she's stopped being mean, because occasionally she'll still try to manipulate something and get a chance to scream at me. But I don't play into her games. I just honestly don't answer her or say anything because she'll just twist it. And if I answer, it won't matter what I answer. She's already come up with a complex scheme of how she can utilize this to scream and yell at me. So, and I only know because she's done it plenty of times. So it's like, yeah. So, at least I haven't had to have too much trouble with my mom lately. And my sister's been very snooty. And she, just, my baby sister's been very snooty and just acts like, I'm a lazy piece of shit. Though she let the house go to hell, which I did get cleaned up today. And my dad, is just purposely being an asshole. And it makes life difficult and it hurts really bad because, you know, as I said, I don't matter to my dad. I don't matter to him at all. He's very egotistic and narcissistic, and he seems to think and act like he's the only person that matters. He didn't teach me these things when I was 16 and made sure I knew how to drive and get a permit and work on getting my license. Uh, it was an inconvenience to him then, and it's an inconvenience to him now because it interferes with him having to stop being so selfish. Stop watching TV all day, and now stop being on the computer all day. But yeah, he's just very selfish and always acts very, very entitled. Um, so I already know I don't matter, and that's what hurts too, because it's like it's not just something I want to learn how to drive. This is a necessity in life. You really should learn how to drive and you know and get a job and be on your own. And this is not a necessity to my dad, though this is a necessary thing to know and do when you're an adult. And it's just very frustrating and hard because it feels like I'm being fought all the way. And I am fighting so hard to overcome this anyhow and, gain my independence, something you need when you've grown up and something that has been kept from me and hindered from me having it. And so you get it. Today was a very bad day and very frustrating. And I am, working on bettering myself, and I have to fight so hard to do so because I have at least two people fighting hard for me not to be independent. And then a little baby sister who's a spoiled brat making things all the more difficult and life frustrating. So, yeah, it's difficult and frustrating when you're working so hard just to have independence like that alone. And people fighting you all the way. It's just really hard. Um, so yeah, that's just a little update on how my day has gone today. Um, Not an easy day. Um, at least I didn't cry. Yeah. So I guess I'm done now, and yeah, I'm gonna continue trying to, you know, overcome this and fight this and gain my independence anyhow, because it's a necessity and it's something I want. I want better for my life. I want better of myself and for myself. So I'm gonna keep going, even though this is, very hard and very depressing. Um, I'll keep going though, and I'm sure I'll succeed mostly because I know me. When I do get stubborn about something, I do succeed because I just don't give up. Um, Except I've been too long, not being stubborn for myself, but being stubborn to love my family, being stubborn to protect them, being stubborn to make excuses for them. But I'm very much done. I still love them, and I still ask people not to hate them when I open up. And friends, don't hate them when I open up. Um, just forgive them and understand they've been hurt too, but they need help. I'm not making excuses for them and saying that it's okay what they're doing. It's not okay, but all the same, I understand they're just broken people. Um, but I'm being stubborn for myself for once in my life, and I'm going to keep striving until I succeed in the goal that I am reaching for. Um, yeah. But till then, I guess I'm done now. It's just a very frustrating day. So have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and goodbye now.